What if the greatest achievement in human history was actually connected to an alien war that started millions of years ago? What if the moon landing wasn't really about exploration, but about hiding a terrifying secret from the world? That's exactly the explosive idea behind Transformers: Dark of the Moon, the third chapter in one of the biggest action franchises ever made. Directed by Michael Bay, this movie takes everything fans loved about the previous films: massive robot battles, insane destruction, emotional betrayals, and non-stop action, and pushes it to a whole new level. The movie opens in the middle of the ancient war on Cybertron. The Autobots are losing badly against the Decepticons. Their leader, Sentinel Prime, launches a secret spacecraft called the Ark, carrying powerful technology that could save their civilization. But before the ship escapes, it gets attacked and crashes onto the dark side of Earth's moon. And suddenly, the film reveals one of its coolest twists: the moon landing in 1969 was actually a secret mission to investigate this crashed alien ship. Right from the beginning, the movie creates this feeling that history itself has been connected to Transformers all along. Years later, Sam Witwicky is no longer the excited teenager we saw in the earlier movies. He helped save the world multiple times, but now he's struggling with normal life. He has graduated from college, but despite being a hero, nobody really cares anymore. He can't find a good job, he feels useless, and he's frustrated watching other people get recognition while he's ignored. Shia LaBeouf plays Sam with much more maturity here. This time, the character feels more human and relatable. Instead of just running around screaming, Sam is trying to find purpose in a world that moved on without him. Sam is now living with Carly, played by Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, who replaced Michaela from the earlier films. Carly works for a wealthy businessman named Dylan Gould, who seems charming at first but secretly hides dangerous connections. Sam's relationship with Carly becomes an emotional anchor in the movie because she constantly supports him even when he doubts himself. Meanwhile, Optimus Prime learns about the hidden spacecraft on the moon and becomes furious that the US government kept it secret for decades. Optimus believes Sentinel Prime, his old mentor, was on board the Ark all this time. Together with the Autobots, they travel to the moon and recover Sentinel's damaged body along with hundreds of hidden pillars containing advanced teleportation technology. Using the matrix of leadership, Optimus successfully revives Sentinel Prime. At first, Sentinel appears noble, wise, and honorable. He speaks like a true leader who wants peace for Cybertron. The emotional connection between him and Optimus is one of the strongest parts of the film. Optimus respects Sentinel deeply, almost like a father figure. You can feel how much his approval matters. And that's exactly why the betrayal later becomes so powerful. As the story continues, strange events start happening around the world. Humans connected to the moon mission begin dying mysteriously. Sam accidentally discovers that the Decepticons are hunting everyone involved with the Ark secret. Even though nobody believes him initially, Sam slowly uncovers a terrifying conspiracy. The Decepticons have been secretly planning an invasion for years, and Sentinel Prime is actually working with them. This betrayal completely changes the movie. Sentinel reveals that he made a deal with Megatron to save Cybertron. He believes the Autobots lost the war because of weak ideals, and now he's willing to sacrifice Earth itself to rebuild his home planet. It's one of the most shocking moments in the entire Transformers franchise because Sentinel wasn't just another villain, he was Optimus Prime's hero. Watching Optimus realize he trusted the wrong person hits emotionally harder than most people expected from a Transformers movie. Then comes one of the most brutal scenes in the series. Sentinel suddenly murders Ironhide without warning. Ironhide had been with us since the first film, loyal until the very end, and his death feels cold and heartbreaking. The way Sentinel kills him instantly shows how dangerous and ruthless he truly is. There's no dramatic fight, no heroic goodbye, just betrayal. That scene alone raised the stakes massively. Soon after, the Decepticons launch their full invasion of Chicago using Sentinel's space bridge pillars. Massive warships appear in the sky, buildings collapse, explosions destroy entire streets, and chaos spreads everywhere. The city transforms into a war zone unlike anything audiences had seen before. This entire Chicago battle sequence became one of the most iconic action finales in blockbuster history. What makes the Chicago battle so incredible isn't just the explosions, it's the scale. Michael Bay makes the audience feel tiny compared to these giant machines. Decepticon ships hover between skyscrapers while Autobots race through collapsing roads trying to save civilians. The visuals are absolutely massive, especially in IMAX. Every frame feels designed to overwhelm your senses. At the same time, the movie surprisingly gives emotional weight to the destruction. Humans are trapped, soldiers are terrified, and the Autobots are genuinely losing. For once, the Decepticons actually feel unstoppable. Shockwave enters the battlefield with his giant mechanical worm drilling through buildings, creating pure nightmare fuel. His design looks terrifying, and every scene with him feels intense. Another major strength of the film is how it uses military realism. The soldiers aren't just background characters here, they actively participate in the battle. The wingsuit sequence where soldiers jump from skyscrapers while explosions erupt around them is one of the coolest action scenes ever filmed. It feels real, dangerous, and visually unforgettable. Sam also finally proves why he matters beyond being the human guy. Even without powers, he risks everything to uncover the truth and help stop the invasion. Instead of waiting for Autobots to save the day, Sam takes control, infiltrates dangerous areas, and faces enemies directly. His determination makes him more heroic than ever before. Then we get the return of Megatron, but this version feels different. He's weaker, damaged, and hiding in the shadows after being betrayed by Sentinel. Instead of acting like the unstoppable tyrant from earlier films, Megatron now feels bitter and desperate. Surprisingly, this actually improves his character because we finally see vulnerability in him. Carly cleverly manipulates Megatron's ego by convincing him that Sentinel will replace him as leader forever. This sparks tension between the two villains, and eventually Megatron turns against Sentinel during the final battle. It's a classic example of Decepticons destroying themselves because of greed and pride. The final confrontation between Optimus Prime, Sentinel Prime, and Megatron is absolutely savage. Optimus enters the battlefield furious, determined to end the war once and for all. The choreography feels aggressive and brutal. Optimus isn't holding back anymore. After years of protecting Earth, sacrificing friends, and suffering betrayals, he's done showing mercy. When Optimus kills Megatron, the moment feels shocking because of how direct and violent it is. But even after Megatron falls, Sentinel still tries to justify his actions, insisting that he only wanted to save Cybertron. Optimus, heartbroken but determined, finally executes Sentinel with one of the coldest lines in the franchise. "You didn't betray me, you betrayed yourself." That moment perfectly defines Optimus Prime in this movie. He's still heroic, but now he understands leadership sometimes requires impossible choices. One thing that truly makes Transformers: Dark of the Moon stand out is its tone. Compared to the second movie, which many people criticized for excessive comedy and messy storytelling, this film feels darker, more focused, and more serious. The stakes feel real. Characters die, cities fall, trust is broken, and the action actually serves the story instead of distracting from it. The visual effects are still unbelievable even today. The transformation sequences look incredibly detailed, the scale feels realistic, and the integration between CGI and live action is seamless. Considering this movie released in 2011, it still competes with many modern blockbusters visually. The soundtrack by Steve Jablonsky also deserves huge praise. His music gives the film emotional power and epic energy. Tracks like Battle, It's Our Fight, and There Is No Plan make scenes feel legendary. Without the soundtrack, many emotional moments wouldn't hit nearly as hard. Of course, the movie isn't perfect. Some side characters exist mostly for comic relief, and a few jokes feel unnecessary during serious moments. Certain human storylines could have been shorter. But honestly, when the movie focuses on the Autobots, Decepticons, and the war itself, it becomes incredibly entertaining. Another underrated part of the film is how it explores leadership. Sentinel Prime represents a leader willing to sacrifice morality for survival, while Optimus represents hope, honor, and loyalty even during impossible times. Their conflict isn't just physical, it's ideological. That deeper theme gives the movie more substance than people often realize. And let's be honest, few movies deliver spectacle like this one. Watching Optimus fly through collapsing buildings, Bumblebee fighting Decepticons in destroyed streets, or giant alien ships tearing apart Chicago feels absolutely insane. This is blockbuster filmmaking at maximum intensity. By the end of the film, the Autobots succeed in saving Earth, but victory comes with heavy losses. Cybertron is destroyed permanently, friendships are shattered, and the war leaves emotional scars on everyone. The ending feels surprisingly bittersweet beneath all the explosions. For many fans, Transformers: Dark of the Moon remains the best movie in the original Transformers trilogy because it balances action, emotion, scale, and storytelling better than the others. It's loud, chaotic, dramatic, emotional, and completely unforgettable. This movie proves that giant robot films can still deliver emotional betrayals, epic themes, and unforgettable cinematic moments. It's not just about explosions, it's about loyalty, sacrifice, leadership, and survival. And honestly, when Optimus Prime charges into battle during that final war in Chicago, with explosions lighting up the sky and humanity hanging by a thread, it feels like pure cinema. Because in the end, this wasn't just another battle between Autobots and Decepticons. It was the day Earth became the final battlefield of a war older than humanity itself.